Good morning, Ron. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jennifer Reed. I'm the director of BSU's Senior College, and I'm excited to have you with us today to talk about your two upcoming courses for the fall 2022 semester. First, can you just introduce yourself first?
Sure. Well, thank you very much for having me for the Senior College. My name is Ron Aakjar. I'm currently a staff associate here at Bridgewater State University. I teach labs in biology, mostly to majors, but I also do labs for non-majors. This is my 11th year here at BSU, so I think BSU is a wonderful college, university, great place to do your schooling. And it's even more awesome we have this Senior College available to us and to you guys be able to take these classes, outside of the usual university type classes. So yeah, I've been a horticulturist, I guess by definition, for probably over 20 years. Used to work as a professional horticulturist for about 10 years or so at a private estate. But I've always been interested in gardening. I love plants, love flowers, and my background is in plant biology. So, but I also do fungi too. So if you have any interest in that too, feel free to ask questions.
Excellent. So you've taught with Senior College before. What keeps you coming back to work with our members?
My first go around was last spring. It was amazing. I was really shocked at the number of students that wanted to take the classes. So that was awesome. I probably had, I think, 40 students in my second go around of my classes. So that was amazing. Was not anywhere near those numbers. And the students that were there were really interested in what I had to say, what we were doing, the information that was being given. Lots of fantastic questions from the students. Everybody was, on point, ready to ask questions. So it was really good interaction between myself and the students. So it wasn't just me lecturing and doing the Zoom meetings. It was them also asking lots of questions back to me. So I really feel like the students got a lot out of it. And in the responses that I got from the students, they all really seemed to enjoy the classes. So I'm more than happy to do some more.
Yeah, 100%, Ron. Your classes were incredibly popular last semester, and I listened to our members who basically demanded that you come back this fall and offer more courses. So we're thrilled to have you. So you're offering two courses this semester. We'd love to hear a little bit about what students can expect to learn from you this fall.
Sure. So the first class is going to be on permaculture, which may not necessarily be a term that a lot of people have heard of before. They've heard of it in passing and weren't quite sure exactly what the term was about or what it refers to. So we'll kind of go into the background of permaculture, how it all started in Australia back in the 1970s, what is actually behind permaculture, how it differs from organic gardening, even though it is kind of organic gardening, but how it differs in a lot of ways from that. So background, how to go about doing permaculture. Is it something that's good for everybody? Probably not. We'll talk about why it could be a good thing for you, why it might not be a best thing for you, and how you actually go about creating a permaculture garden and what actually is involved in doing that. The second course will be on, we're calling it winter gardening. It's going to talk a little bit about houseplants. So I'm actually going to talk a little bit, people had asked before last spring about, oh, could you do something on houseplants? So I'll be more than happy to do a little bit about that, but it's more than just houseplants. It's going to be talking about getting your garden ready for winter, things you can do in the winter time to actually help your garden out in the springtime. Plants that you can plant possibly next spring that you can actually utilize and harvest the following winter. Yeah, so we're gonna go there. I'll probably talk a little bit of overlap on some of my courses that I teach in the spring on extending the growing season, that kind of stuff. So there'll be a small overlap on something some students I may have heard before, but I'm going to try to keep it as fresh and new as I can for this go around for the class.
Excellent. Well, I know that, houseplants have seen a resurgence lately that we have never seen before.
Yeah.
I know a lot of my contemporaries, women and women even younger than me, their houseplants are their literal children. So I know there's a lot of interest in that. And then, of course, the gardening, as a novice gardener myself, this was my second year with a vegetable garden. I know how incredibly important it is. And there's so much to learn about how to be successful. I know a lot of folks invest a lot of time and money into their garden.
Absolutely.
And I know this year I had a bit of a flop of a crop and it was such a bummer. So I know I need to take your classes myself.
Yeah,
So
it was a very different year this year from last year. Last year it was hot and we couldn't turn the water off.
yeah,
This year it was not so hot, but we couldn't turn the water on. So, I mean, the
yeah,
rain was just not there for us. So, and a lot of plants have issues with overhead watering, that kind of stuff. So we could also mention that kind of stuff too, ways of avoiding that, and some plants that could, benefit from lower watering versus the overhead watering, that kind of stuff. And I'll probably talk more about that in my springtime classes, but if anybody has any questions on that, I'm more than happy to answer those.
yeah, incredibly useful information, I'm sure, for lots of people in our audience. So if you're interested, again, Ron will offer 2 courses. The first one is called Permaculture 101, Create Your Own Backyard Ecosystem. It will be offered over Zoom on Thursdays beginning on September 15th at 5 p.m. The nice thing about Ron's classes too are that for members of senior college, they're recorded and you have access to a private video on demand library. So you can always rewatch a session. You could go back later and watch a course, maybe a class meeting if you missed it, if you had an appointment or if you had plans, or if you're not even enrolled in the class, but you're a member of senior college, you could go back later and check it out. Perhaps you have a conflict or something. So it's incredibly useful that Ron offers this recording option on his class.
Yeah,
And
my
his
students, sorry, Jen, my students really enjoyed that last year. And I also make all my PowerPoints available to the students. So if for some reason, something messes up in the recording, whatever, I always also offer the PowerPoints and any handouts that I may have given during the class. You'll also receive those too.
Incredible value to our members for sure. In your second class, Winter Gardening, Mother Nature Never Rests, begins on Thursdays, October 27th, again, also at 5 p.m. So basically, if you sign up for both classes, you'll have a nice semester-long experience with Ron, our local horticultural expert, and we're thrilled to have you back, Ron, and I look forward to seeing you this fall in the classes.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing all the students, and all the students who I saw in the spring. I hope to see you back again.
I'm sure they'll be back. Awesome. Thanks, Ron.
All right, Jen, thanks.